Quantum Entanglement and the Oneness of All Things. A Vedira narrative. In the vast and infinite expanse of the cosmos, there lies a mystery so elegant, so unfathomably subtle, that even our greatest scientists approach it with reverence and hesitation. It is not something we can see or touch, yet its truth echoes through every fiber of existence. This mystery is known as quantum entanglement, an idea born from the cold, calculated world of physics, but whose implications gently touch the timeless truths whispered by the sages of old. Quantum entanglement defies all classical understanding of space and time. In its simplest expression, it tells us that two particles, once linked through interaction, remain connected regardless of the distance between them. Change one and the other changes instantly. Not with a delay. Not through a signal. Instantly. Even if they are separated by galaxies. This phenomenon has startled even the most rational of minds. Einstein himself, perhaps the greatest scientific intellect of the modern age, called it spooky action at a distance. To him, it seemed to violate the very structure of the universe. And yet, decades later, entanglement has been proven repeatedly in laboratories across the world. It is no longer theory. It is real. And what does this mean? What can we, walking slowly across this ancient earth, make of such an idea? Perhaps it is more than just a quirk of subatomic behavior. Perhaps it is a doorway, a scientific thread that leads us towards something far older than modern physics, the deep and resonant truth of spiritual oneness. For thousands of years, across civilizations that never touched, mystics, sages, and spiritual seekers have spoken of the fundamental unity of all life. In the Upanishads of ancient India, the rishis proclaimed, Tat Tvam Asi, you are that. Not you are separate. Not you are alone. But you are that. The river, the star, the other person, the distant past, the unknown future. All are expressions of the same fundamental consciousness. This is not merely poetic metaphor. In the context of quantum entanglement, it begins to sound like scientific truth. Imagine this. At the moment of the Big Bang, everything in the universe was compressed into a single, infinitely dense point. From that singularity, everything exploded outward: space, time, matter, energy. Every atom, every particle, every strand of light came from the same original source. In this view, all things are not only connected, they were once one. And if particles can remain entangled after a brief interaction in a lab, what of particles that were born together in the womb of the universe itself? What if the cosmos is not a collection of separate things, but a great and living unity that only appears fragmented to our limited senses? When we consider entanglement through this lens, we are not looking at science or spirituality separately. We are witnessing a reunion. Two languages speaking of the same truth. One through equations, the other through meditation. Quantum entanglement tells us that distance is an illusion. That separation is not real. That at the deepest level all things are linked. And what is the core message of every major spiritual tradition? That we are not separate. That love is not an emotion, but the force that recognizes sameness in the other. That enlightenment is the dissolution of the false boundary between me and you, between self and the universe. This concept is not new. In the heart of Buddhist philosophy lies the understanding of interdependence, that all things arise in connection, that nothing exists independently. The flower needs the sun, the soil, the rain, and the observer. Remove any one of those and the flower cannot be. In Taoism we find the idea of the Tao, the flowing, unseen unity behind all forms. In Sufism, the mystic seeks to dissolve the self into the beloved, to become one with the divine. In indigenous traditions across the world, we find the reverence for the web of life, where everything is alive, aware, and connected. Science, it seems, is beginning to remember what the soul has never forgotten. But let us not be naive. Quantum entanglement is not a simple metaphor. It is complex, counterintuitive, and not fully understood. But that should not deter us. Complexity is not the opposite of truth, it is often its garment. In the experiments that confirmed entanglement, particles were separated and measured, with changes in one instantly affecting the other. This defies the speed of light, the traditional boundary of information transfer. And yet it happens. Repeatedly. Predictably. The implications are profound. It suggests that the universe has a deeper order. That there may be a hidden layer of reality where space and time do not function as we believe. A level of being where connection is the default, and isolation is impossible. Now consider this. If subatomic particles can remain linked through time and space, might our own consciousness, our thoughts, our feelings, our memories, also be part of a similar field? Could it be that what we think of as the soul is not confined to the body, but is in constant relationship with all things? Modern researchers like Rupert Sheldrake have proposed the idea of morphic fields, patterns of information that shape not only biological growth but perhaps collective memory. Carl Jung, the great psychologist, spoke of the collective unconscious, a shared psychic inheritance that all humans participate in. And in the Vedas there is the concept of Akasha, the subtle etheric field that holds all knowledge, memory, and possibility. Perhaps what we call the quantum field is not so different. The more we explore, the more we begin to see the same shapes emerging. Science bends toward mystery. Spirituality bows toward truth. And in their intersection we may find something greater than either: understanding. Entanglement is not just about particles. It is about relationship. It tells us that everything we do, everything we think, everything we feel ripples outward, not just metaphorically but truly. Your joy, your sorrow, your love, they affect the whole. Not in vague poetic terms, but in actual fields of interaction. When you think of someone and they call you. When you feel a presence in an empty room. When your intuition tells you something moments before it happens. Are these mere coincidences? Or are they the whispering echoes of entanglement on a human scale? Our minds may be receivers as much as they are creators. Our hearts may be transmitters of more than blood. And love, perhaps, is not a chemical reaction in the brain, but the recognition of entangled souls. This changes everything. It means that kindness is not a choice, it is an echo of your own self. That hatred poisons the hater as much as the hated. That to heal another is to heal yourself. That the world is not outside you, it is made of you. This is not philosophy. This is physics. This is Vedanta. This is truth spoken in many tongues across time by minds and mystics alike. So, what are we to do with this knowledge? We are to live differently. To think beyond separation. To act as if our actions matter, because they do. To honor the sacred in all things, from the atom to the animal, from the stranger to the self. Quantum entanglement is not only a revelation, it is an invitation. An invitation to remember what the sages have always known, that we are not broken pieces of a shattered whole, but unique reflections of the one light. We are stardust, yes, but we are also silence. The silence that connects, the silence that heals, the silence that binds the infinite to the now. In that silence there is knowing. In that knowing there is love. And in that love, there is the oneness of all things. This is Vedira. The voice that listens not only to what science explains, but to what the soul already understands.